Welcome back to my views and news. 2 days ago, we saw pictures from Amhara city where a new militia has been trained. Its graduation ceremony was held. Colonel Gatachew was seen. It was called Peacekeeping Force. Tigray activists, Tigray journalists criticized the development, saying that Amhara regional government was training, arming new militias while Tigray fighters are being told to disarm. Now we have some pictures from another disputed territory between Tigray and Amhara regions. Here too, new militias being trained and armed by Amhara regional government. Secondly, Fano is also expanding its recruitment and training activities. A new Fano brigade has been established, named after General Asamino Sege, former Amhara security chief who was shot dead. Thirdly, we have stories about Gatachew's engagements in Denver, US. There, in Denver, Gatachew spoke about what happened at Bole Airport. He was stopped at Bole International Airport when he wanted to fly from Ethiopia to US. And there was a sort of quarrel between security officials of the airport. Some were in support of letting Getachew fly from Addis Ababa to the US, but at least one was opposing his departure. Getachew did not mention names or ethnicities of the people. But it seems that he implied that member of one ethnic group opposed his flight from Addis Ababa to the US. And Salse-Boyene, a Tigray political party, has criticized the festival which was held in Denver. It was a festival, but it turned into a political event, says Salse-Boyene. Firstly, viewers, Volkait, Sumera Sagade, and Raya Koram are disputed territories between Tigray and the Amhara region. Both have their claims. While deadlock is continuing about how to resolve the future status of these two zones, new militias, new groups are being armed and trained in these two zones. Amhara regional government has temporary administrations in these two zones. Ethiopian National Defense Force is deployed in both the zones. Where is Ethiopian National Defense Force? We have seen pictures, videos from Volkait where a militia was trained. Its graduation ceremony was held in Amhara 2 days ago. Colonel Gatachew was there. Amhara regional government was there. Their representatives were there. The ceremony was held in Amhara, right on Ethiopia-Eritrea border. Now, pictures from another disputed territory. You can see some pictures on your screen. The pictures are from Raya, Alamata, and other parts of the Raya zone are disputed between Tigray and Amhara regions. Koram too. Here too, new militia members are being trained. These are pictures of a training activity of these militia members. Such training activities ongoing in different parts of the 4 districts of southern zone, southern Tigray, Raya and Koram. So in both disputed zones, new militias are being trained and armed by Amhara regional government, because the two zones are under Amhara government control. The governments, administrators in two zones are appointed by Amhara regional government. Where is Ethiopian National Defense Force? That is the most important question. Is ENDF on board? Does ENDF want to complicate the matter? Though Amhara regional government officials say that Ethiopian National Defense Force has sent a very strong message to the local administration that ENDF is responsible for the return of IDPs, Tigrayan IDPs to these zones, and that IDP's return could start in coming days, and that ENDF has decided to bring back all IDPs and then choose administrators and then hold referendum. While ENDF is reportedly putting pressure upon Amhara administration in these two zones, Amhara administration is arming, recruiting, backing new militia formation. So either ENDF is helpless, or ENDF does not want to take any strong measures. If it takes a strong decision, strong action, it could meet with resistance, and people, temporary governments, militias could turn against Ethiopian National Defense Force. There could be start of fighting like we're seeing in the Amhara region. Either this is the reason, or ENDF is helpless, or ENDF is playing a double game. On the one hand, it is assuring Tigray government that it wants the return of IDPs, areas will be handed over to Tigray, but on the other hand, it is in touch with the Amhara regional government, temporary governments in Raya Volkait, and it is telling them that continue your militia formation, militia arming. There is something wrong, something is fishy, it seems, in these two zones, Raya and Volkait. I don't think Tigray can peacefully take back both the zones, but Amhara regional government made an offer a few days ago. It floated the idea of referendum. Getachew regional government spokesperson said that preparations were underway for holding of referendum, and Raya people have submitted a resolution to House of Federation to hold referendum in Raya quorum. But no call for referendum in Volkait. Volkait only submitted an application to House of Federation, asking House of Federation to make decision about the status of Mera Volkait Sagade. So both the issues are pending with House of Federation. Federal government largely silent. It floats ideas, it sees response, then it goes quiet. Let's see. So far, militia training, arming in both zones, Volkait, Raya, quorum being reported. Secondly, viewers, in the Amhara region, two new militias being formed. Ethiopian National Defense Force facing another challenge there, where new militia brigades, new Fano brigades, new Fano platforms are being established, partly because of the struggle which is expanding, and partly because of the donations, the financial resources which are being allocated, which are being committed by foreign diaspora for these Fano fighters. A new brigade has been established in Gondar, in South Gondar. A new brigade has been established in Andabit of Reda. The brigade has been named after General Assamino Sege, Amhara regional former security chief, who was killed after a coup attempt. He remained prison too. He was released, and again he was accused of a coup and he was shot dead. But it was Assamino Sege who founded, or you can say who organized Fano fighters, not founded. He organized Fano factions, armed Fano factions, trained Fano factions. That is why all Fano factions, they commemorate Assamino Sege, and they say that Assamino Sege was the one who worked for Amhara people. But people accuse Assamino Sege that he promoted divisions, he armed militias in the Amhara region. That led to start of conflicts within Amhara, and outside Amhara region too. So new Fano brigade being established. I have reported several new brigades established by Fano factions in the last 2 months. And last year it was difficult to train Fano fighters. Trainers were being arrested in Gujjam, in Gondar, in Wollo. Several trainers were arrested. But this year things have changed. Now Fano fighters are in a strong position. They are training themselves, they are training, they are recruiting, they are getting weapons, they are attacking Ethiopian National Defense Force, police as well, and so far Ethiopian National Defense Force could not stop Fano, could not crush Fano. I did a video on reasons behind Endf's inability to crush Fano. This morning I uploaded a video, you can see the video, which I uploaded around 5 to 6 hours ago. Thirdly, words, Tigray, Getachew Reda, Tigray interim president who is in the US said that he was stopped at Bole International Airport when he wanted to take off for the US from Addis Ababa. He said he was stopped. He was told that he cannot leave the country. He was stopped by a security official, by an airport official. Then he contacted Ethiopian PM office. PM office told him that he was free to leave the country. And he said the same to that official who stopped him, but still he was not ready to allow him to leave. Other airport officials, they asked Gatachew that they asked Gatachew to leave, to depart, that there was no restriction. But one official kept on insisting that Gatachew's departure to US from Ethiopia was banned, that he was not allowed to leave. There was a sort of disagreement between airport security officials, but then he was allowed to take off. Gatachew did not mention the ethnicities of the people who stopped him, but he said that members of a tribe, member of a Bihar means a tribe or a region, stopped him. He did not name, he did not tell the ethnicity of those who stopped him. I think he was saying he was implying there was disagreement between Oromo and Amhara employees, security officials at the airport. Oromos were in support of his departure, but Amhara stopped him. That is what he implied. He did not name anyone. He did not say ethnicity of that person, but it seems that he was implying that Amhara members tried to stop him, but ultimately he was allowed to leave. Meanwhile, a Tigray opposition party is criticizing the festival held in US, which was attended by Getachew Reda. Salsebujene says that a cultural festival should not turn into a political event. The festival organizer should have kept the festival as a cultural event, but unfortunately, one political party leaders were invited and it turned into a political program. Gatachew and TPLF leaders were there. That is why Salsebujene is not happy that other opposition parties were not invited to attend the program. So, Ethiopian cultural festivals, Eritrean cultural festivals turn into political events, and some are basically political events. That is what Eritrean opposition is saying, that Eritrean festivals organized in Europe are basically political gatherings where government raises funds. It uses the opportunity to blackmail, to frighten opposition groups. Same happened in US. The festival was not used to frighten others, but funds were raised reportedly, and it turned into a political event where Gatachew spoke about Tigray retaliations, about implementation of Pretoria deal, etc. And Gatachew was very warmly welcomed there. Maybe Salsebujene is not happy with the warm reception because TPLF was criticized by Diaspora last year when it signed the peace deal, Pretoria deal. The diaspora was overwhelmingly in support of an independent Gaya country. So diaspora opposed Pretoria deal. It accused TPLF. The TPLF sought its own survival through Pretoria deal. So Salsevene and others were hoping that diaspora would support opposition parties. But the way Gatachew was warmly welcomed in Denver in US, it seems that TPLF has managed to improve its relations with the diaspora. That is why Salsevene seems unhappy. But yes, cultural festival should not turn into a political gathering. Thank you for watching.